Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joel Enuk and welcome to another episode of Enigma by Joel. Guys, so this is my second time recording this video. Today's Tuesday. I recorded it on Sunday so that I'll edit it on Monday, and I'm trying to edit and I don't hear anything. At first I think it's my laptop. I think my laptop is on mute, and then I'm pressing the mute button and literally nothing. And I'm confused. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm just there confused as hell. And then I play other things and it's playing, but my video is not playing. Guys, you know how frustrating that is. So I have work in an hour, so I just quickly decided to record this video and have my bath, wash my face, and start working since I work from home. That's the beauty. So guys, let's get right into this whole video. Before I go in, if you're not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, please. Like this video, share, guys. Please kindly subscribe to my channel. And also, I pray that I do not mix this case up with the one I'm currently working on, because this is annoying. Guys, today we're actually going to talk about the unsolved mystery of a Swedish au pair. So this case is quite annoying because it's unsolved. And in case you don't know me, I don't like unsolved cases. I think this is going to be my very first unsolved cases, because unsolved cases make me think, they make me wonder. I'll start thinking, who could have killed the person, who could have perpetrated this crime. But one thing I know is that most unsolved cases get solved, even if it's 50 years after. And surprisingly, the killer is always alive. So anyways, yeah, so let's get right into this story. So we're going back to 1996. Oh, I was born then. Anyways, we're going back to 1996. And yeah, so in 1996, there's this young Swedish woman. Her name was Karina Holmer. And she had embarked on an adventure of a lifetime. If only she knew that this adventure was going to cost her her life, she literally wouldn't have embarked on such a journey. So in March 1996, Karina, she had the world at her feet. She was this adventurous person. She was so adventurous, that's how she's always been her whole life. And she had always planned as a child that she was going to travel, because she was see, in this life, I'm going to travel. So she was this kind of person. She was very adventurous. She loved the world. And she was staying in Sweden. Like I said, she was Swedish. And she stayed in this little village that was just 150 miles from Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. The name of her village was Skingingärd. So she was staying in Skingingärd. Skingingärd was this beautiful little village that people used to go, basically not for tourism. The village could add as a tourist center, but if people are saying I'm going to Sweden, they don't used to put at the back of their head that, oh, they're going to Skingingärd. They used to be like, oh, I'm going to Sweden, and then maybe if someone says, oh, Skingingärd is a very nice place for you to go to, then they'll be like, oh, they'll now go be like, oh, wow. But they don't used to go with this intention of, oh, I'm actually going there to tour. Do you understand? I don't know if I'm making sense. So that's where she stayed. So this day was just like every other day. Karina Holmer, I'm going to call her Karina. So Karina, she had won a lottery of $1,500. This was 1996. I'm sure there would have been a whole lot of money. She had won a lottery of $1,500, and she was so excited, obviously. So she was like, you know what, since I won this large amount of money, I'm actually going to go to the USA and live. So she had applied for several jobs. She had applied to be an au pair. So an au pair is literally a nanny. That's what they call a nanny agency. For example, a nanny agency that employs people outside the country. So they actually help you. This is going to be very important later. So they actually help you apply for your visa, take you to a family that will work for you, that you work for. They do background checks and stuff like that. So some sources said that the one she did was illegal, which makes sense later as I go on with this case. Some sources said that she did an illegal one. So literally, according to trace evidence on YouTube, trace evidence was like that. She paid somebody in her country, a man who does like underground immigration work, and like he's literally been doing that, and I think he has been arrested twice. So trace evidence on YouTube said that yes, she actually paid someone to do it for her, and then she came in with an unofficial document into the USA. So she had a family that she was staying with, and this family was so nice. So she came with an unofficial document to the USA, and she stayed in Dover in Massachusetts. And the family she stayed with, their name are Frank Rapp and Susan Nicha. So she stayed with Frank Rapp and Susan Nicha. And this family, they had kids, and she was to take care of the kids. So this is how it was. Like during the week, she was going to like take care of the kids, and during the weekend she would have time for herself. So Frank was a photographer, and he had his own loft, he had his own studio. So he was like, okay, you know what? During the week, you stay in my house, take care of the kids, and during the weekend, you can stay in the studio, because obviously I guess he didn't work during the weekends. So like during the weekends, you stay in the studio, while during the week you stay in my house. And she was not regarded, she was not told to pay any rent. So literally she had like less cost at her feet, like at her hands, because like she didn't have to pay for accommodation. They were paying her, and she was lucky. She was actually really living the life. And during the weekend, Karina will go out with other nannies. She'll go to the club. She'll go to parties. The weekend was the time she had for herself to explore USA. And when I checked some articles and like some comments, some people were like trying to make it look like she was this it girl. She was this girl that just was loose. But if you think about it, she's just like every other youth. Am I making sense? For example, she worked, she was very independent. So I literally think it's unfair for people to say that, oh yeah, she's an it girl, because like during the week she was making her money, weekend she had time for herself. So on June 21st, she had gone to a club named Zanzibar Club with her friends. And like I said, some sources said that Karina was 19, while some sources said that Karina was 20. But either ways, even though she was 19 or 20, she was not legal to go to a club, because I think the legal age for drinking and going clubbing in the USA is 21, while in the UK is 18. So she was not, do you understand? She was illegal to go to a club. So this is where the whole fake documents come in. So she actually used a fake document to go inside. So like I'm speculating, like the fake document she used in coming to the USA was what she used to go inside the club. I'm speculating. So she actually used a fake ID and she got into the club. And when she went to the club, she was having the time of her life. She was partying with her friends. She was drinking, but she was so intoxicated. She was overly intoxicated, like so intoxicated that, do you understand, like they had never ever seen her that intoxicated like before. So she went to the toilet to throw up. She went to the bathroom to throw up, and then like she passed out in the bathroom. So like her friends were in the club, and when they had not seen from her or heard from her, they actually thought that she had gone home. So they went their separate ways. And if only her friends had stayed or gone to, like, do you understand, to check up on her, I won't be sitting down here telling you guys this story. So there've been so many sightings of Karina, like so many sightings of Karina, at least 3 sightings of Karina. There's some people saw her like around 3 a.m. staggering on the street. There've been someone that seen her inside a car. There was someone that actually saw her in an intersection of Bolliston and Tremont. So like I'm going to go into these details later. So guys, now let's go into the whole grisly discovery. So on June 23rd, there was this homeless man that was looking through the dumpster, and he was checking to see if he could like see recycle cans or like Coca-Cola cans or bottles that he could use to recycle and get a few dollars so that he could eat. So as he's checking this, he comes in contact with a partial body of a woman that was concealed in a dumpster. So quickly as he should, he actually called 911. He called the police and told the police of what he had seen. And obviously the police rushed to the scene. So when the police came to the scene, they had seen that Karina Holmer was dead and the bottom half of her body was missing. So the Boston police, they had actually started, doing their investigation. And then when they had seen her body, they had seen that they came in conclusion that the person that has done this has actually done it before, has had some experience before. So literally what they actually did, they took this body, and then immediately the police was like, this is not the crime scene. This must have been done like somewhere else, because half of her body was already like washed up. There was no blood. Do you understand? Like there was no blood. It has been washed up and just thrown into the dumpster. So the police had come to this conclusion that the crime scene was somewhere else and then her body was thrown in a different place. While the police think that whoever had done it must have been very experienced, was because like they had cut her body like neatly half. The only mistake, they made a very little mistake, which was like around her spinal area. But apart from that, this person must have known how to cut through her body like smooth. Do you understand? Like smooth. So the police was like, you know what, this is the work of somebody that has done this before. So the police came up with some theories. So they had discovered that, yeah, this is not the scene of the crime, but they were able to like point out where the scene of the crime was, but I don't know how. Then they were like, maybe this is somewhere that would have done this to cover up a sex crime or to cover up a potential pregnancy. But then people were like, they did not think she was pregnant because she was heavily intoxicated. She was so intoxicated that if she was pregnant, she wouldn't have drank like that. But at the same time, sources was like, this is the highest she had ever drank, that she had never seen her this intoxicated. Maybe I'm just suggesting it's not like it actually happened. Maybe she found out she was pregnant and was trying to get rid of the child some way or the other. That's why she drank that heavily. Because like I don't see I want to say like I don't see any reason why she would drink that much when that's not how she drinks. But at the same time, some days you're like, oh my god, I didn't see that happening. So that could be one suggestion, but honestly, I really do not know. And also, yeah, maybe she wasn't pregnant and the person tried to cover up a sex crime. And maybe the person actually tries to cover up a sex crime. So witnesses were actually questioned, and the police they tried their best to find out like what happened during this shocking case. So there is a nanny who was Swedish too. She was from her place, but she decided to remain anonymous. And she literally told the police that she was with Karina that night and like they had lost track. And the next time that she saw her was to identify her body. So when Karina left the USA, she had promised her family and friends that she was going to write to them every week. And Karina wrote to them like very often. She did not joke with that promise. So she wrote to her friends, to her family. She made her family look like, oh, she was actually enjoying America. But then like her friends, because those were her friends, her letters were a little bit worrisome. At first it was fun and games and everything, but like later she started writing like worrisome letters. So the last letter she wrote to her friend was something terrible had happened. And she didn't say what had happened. She didn't say the terrible thing that had happened. And obviously this was like during later days. It's not like she had like cell phone. Yeah, there was phones, but like there was no like mobile phones or cell phones. I don't know. That's when I was like literally like 6 months. Anyway, so she was like, something terrible had happened, and maybe she was going to say what had happened in her next letter, but unfortunately she didn't say it, and that was it. So literally the case of Karina has been unsolved. The case has gone cold, but it's not yet closed. It's literally one of the longest unsolved cases in the history of Massachusetts. Like the police, they tried their best. They actually really tried their best. I think the detective said that every day, like he goes to the scene where Karina's body was found, and he just keeps on wondering like, what happened? Like, what happened to this girl? How did she end up here? Like, one thing I know is that the Massachusetts police, like, they tried their very best to make sure that the killer was brought to book, but like nothing literally happened. The killers are still not brought to book till this day. So before we end this, I'm going to talk about like the theories that have been surrounding this case as to why she died and like the suspected witnesses. The whole 25 years, obviously there are going to be like some theories that, do you understand, that have been going through this whole case. So we're just going to talk about them. So first of all, people speculated that Karina was killed by a serial killer that was just passing through Boston, but like that has not been proven. Nobody knows the serial killer. Maybe the serial killer has been found, but he didn't confess to that death, to that murder. So like that's one of the speculations that have been going on. Second speculation is that other rumors suggested that it was her employer that killed her, but they had questioned her employer Frank, and they had investigated their employer. So when they went to question her employer, they had gone to the back and they said that, and they saw that they actually were burning some things. So they took the ashes of what they were burning to check if there was any trace of human remains or human body. But when they checked, they found nothing. And then some people were like that maybe he may have killed her because maybe she was pregnant for him, since during the weekend she stayed in his studio. So obviously, since she stayed in his studio, maybe they must have been engaged in sex, adultery, and premarital sex. So maybe that's how she became pregnant. And maybe when he found out she was pregnant, he decided to end her life. But I highly doubt that, because like, where would he kill her? Because I'm sure the police also like really checked his house. So obviously they found nothing. So her employer came and said, I'm definitely not the suspect. My family is completely devastated. So another person of interest was a local man. His name was Herbert Whitten. Unfortunately, he actually committed suicide a year after. Why he was ruled out was because he was given a speeding ticket at the approximate time of which the crime was committed. And this speeding ticket was given to him in a different town, in a different place, not close to where her body was found. So like a year later, he was given the speeding ticket. But if we're actually, okay, I'm going to give my suggestions later. So another clue was provided by a man who said that he had actually seen Karina sitting down in a car shortly before she was vanished. So according to him, he said that he tried getting Karina out of the car because he found out that her friends were looking for her. So he tried getting Karina out of the car to, stay with her friends. But then the two guys that were in the car actually threatened his life. They were like, get away from the car, you fucking bitch, I'll crush your fucking head. And they drove away. They actually threatened to kill him, and they drove away with her. So, and I think I said she was found dancing with a homeless man the night before. So other people had seen her dancing with a homeless man, but obviously the homeless man was not the killer. But me personally, I think, apart from the two people that saw her in the car, I think another person was the guy that committed suicide. Even some people think he's the guy that committed suicide. People were like that he committed suicide because maybe he was scared that the police was going to catch up with him. Me personally, I actually think he was the one, because I thought about this for a very long time. So the two guys that took her, that basically kidnapped her, I think they were working with him. And obviously they took her. Maybe they were not the killers, or maybe they were the killers, but they were working for him. So maybe when he was speeding to where the people were taking her to, because that was his speeding at that time. Why? So maybe he was speeding to catch up with them, and then he got a speeding ticket. I mean, they took her to a different town. And then I forgot to say, the autopsy said that she had died. They did not put a specific time where she had died. They had said that she had died between 3 a.m. of 21st June and to 3 a.m. of 22nd June. So literally, like, people, the investigation, some sources said that she was alive for 24 hours, and literally she had died. Her cause of death was strangulation, because they had seen like rope marks around her neck. So obviously that's what like some people actually thought that happened. Like, some people actually think it's the man that committed suicide. And I kind of think so too, because where was he speeding to? Where was he going to? So I think those two guys were working for him. That's what I think. And why did he commit suicide? I'm sure people have things going on in their life, maybe, but like, don't commit suicide, please. Do not commit suicide. You have every reason to live. So literally, that's what I think happened. I think that was what happened, but that's just my speculation. It's not been proven. Like, this case is still unsolved. So now the police is still looking for new leads. They are hoping for new leads. It's 25 years, but obviously the case is not yet closed, because police, yes, they are still investigating. The case is not yet closed. It's still open, although it's cold, but it's not yet closed. And I hope police doesn't close it till they find the perpetrator. But something is telling me that it's that Herbert Whitten. I don't know. In a statement that the Boston Police Department put on their Facebook account, they said any piece of information, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, could make a tremendous difference in the course of this decades-long investigation. So anyone who has a potential lead, you can still call the Boston Police Department at 617-343-4470. 617-343-4470. Hopefully 2021 is the year that will actually find out who killed this innocent girl who just wanted to enjoy life. So let's address the elephant in the room, because if it's not an elephant in the room for you, I really don't know. Throughout this whole investigation, like, I did my research and I'm like, where was her government? Sweden, like, the Swedish government did nothing. And it's just so scary that this case was not like heard everywhere. Do you understand? This case was not heard everywhere. Like, you would think that a case like this should be heard everywhere. Do you understand? I didn't watch any videos where they said that, oh, the Swedish government tried their very, very best to like find out who killed their citizen. Because if it's Nigeria, I can understand, but like, Sweden, to my knowledge, is a developed country to some extent, and like, it just made me feel like maybe they didn't care about their citizen. I don't know if they tried. Like I said, I checked articles and I saw a none spoke about if the Swedish government had sat down and, you know, tried to help the Boston Police Department. And again, I felt like this case did not take as much media coverage as it should have. It didn't get like as much media coverage. I understand that was 1996, but we know cases of way back. We know case of Aqua Tofana. We know so many cases. A woman that used chocolate to kill her ex-boyfriend's wife. I've forgotten her name. We know all those cases, and those happened like 1800, where there was no camera. But yeah, there was CCTV, but obviously the CCTVs, they were limited because that was 1996. But at the same time, like, I feel this case didn't have that much media coverage, and I even feel that I've never said this case well, because I was trying so hard not to mix this case with the one I'm actually researching on because of the problem I told you guys about earlier. So guys, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for my last video, the love of my last video. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to my channel. Like this video, comment if you guys have any case. Please share this video if you care. Please, and actually, please do care. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate. Help me grow. Thank you guys so much. And please tell me what you think about this case, because I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, what is going on? The Swedish government, like, they really disappointed me. Like, I expected more, but I guess they had other things to do, and that was not their concern, which is not right. But anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I really do appreciate you guys. Until next time, bye.